One man built a $1.8 billion company with $20,000 and a dozen AI tools. What is your excuse? All right, so let's just jump into it, because now there's some guy named Matthew Gallagher comes out and builds this, what I like to call a dropshipping company. But I think everybody on X is missing the point. So this morning, I see an article on New York Times just hailing this guy to be the next Steve Jobs, essentially. Building a $1.8 billion company off the backs of just connecting the dots better than anyone else and marketing it better. He didn't do anything genius. He didn't do anything that was new. It already existed. But what he did better than everybody else and his competitors was two things. He shipped fast and he marketed it better. That's it. The only thing in 2026 that is still a limiting factor is distribution. That is all, and that is it. So I want to dive in today what Matthew Gallagher, this 40-plus-year-old guy, all right, how he launched a $1.8 billion company in fucking 2 years. All right. Last year, he started in 2024 with $20,000. He wrote off the backs of all this peptide health narrative that was blowing up at the time. He literally just built a wrapper on top of two existing companies. And it's not like they didn't allow it. They welcomed it because he was able to just connect the dots better than anyone else. So let's dive into how Matthew Gallagher did it. Matthew Gallagher, this 41-year-old guy, grew up in a trailer park, taught himself how to code. And in September 2024, he launched Medvi. Medv is this telehealth company that literally just sells GLP-1 weight loss drug. It's literally a weight loss peptide drug. He used ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok to build his website, and then Midjourney and Runway for his ad creatives, 11 Labs for the customer support voice, and he just used a bunch of agents to connect everything together. First month, this guy has 300 customers. Second month, they have 1,000 customers. By the end of 2025, they closed in at around $401 million with a net 16.2% in profits. That's $65 million. Honestly, I want to know what business expense reports he's been using for his credit cards, because I know he amassed a fuck ton of points. So I'm sure that guy's just going to live off the rest of his life just off of points. His only employee is his younger brother, Elliot. I mean, even Sam Altman literally said that he wants to meet this person, especially since he's predicted, the one-man, $1 billion company using AI. The funny thing is X exploded all day. So here's where it gets interesting and where the conversation on X completely split. So you got on one camp, this whole AI will replace everyone. This is the future. Founders are they're quote tweeting all of this like it's the new Bible. And then there's no excuses anymore. And then they're all just sharing screenshots of the New York Times article, everywhere. You'd think the man invented fucking healthcare. And then you got on the other side, everyone who's hating on the fact that he's just drop shipping a product on the backs of everybody else's infrastructure that was built. Here's the reality is who cares? Who cares? Yes, this is the reality we live in now. If you are someone who understands the ability of connecting distribution for a product and an infrastructure, and you can get it in the hands of the customers, because at the end of the day, what really matters is who gets to the customer first. That is it. That is above all. The most important metric of everything is get to the customer first. It doesn't matter if there's competition. It doesn't matter if there's 50 versions of you. It's about who gets to the customer first. The funniest thing is this guy didn't raise any money for it. He had $20,000 and then he used the speed that AI allowed and enabled to just launch and ship quickly to beat out companies like him and hers that did $2.4 billion with 2,400 employees. And I'm sure that they've raised hundreds of millions of dollars, or whatever millions of dollars that they have. That's the beautiful part. Do you guys understand that? And then you have doctors on X that are just pissed by the fact that now this guy is just making money in the same industry, but not really directly being in the industry and not doing the 12 years of submitting to going and getting a certificate. It's beautiful. They're making tweets that are oh, what physicians are enabling this? Does medicine no longer have ethics? And here's the thing, the reality is, it's both takes are true, Yes, this guy, there is no excuse for you right now. You should be going and trying as hard as you can. I mean, the window is closing. You should be able to have all the tools in front of you to try to go and make your 100 million, your million, whatever number that is, you can do it now. More than ever. Okay. Now the question lies is about the ethics of how you're doing marketing and distribution. If I'm just building out what already exists and I'm just connecting the dots from the infrastructure and then the marketing tools that are available into, outreach and reaching out to the final end user, the retail customer, and then enabling an affiliate program, for example, whether it's through affiliates programs or running through ads itself. But sitting at the orchestration layer of connecting these two markets and just not being greedy with it, because I'm able to afford to give up to affiliates maybe $500 per sale, rather than like if I was a big company with 2,400 plus employees and I can't afford to give more than 5% commission per affiliate. Of course, affiliates are always going to want to go to where there's 50% margins, any big margins, more than 5 and 10%. It's just the name of the game. So let me break down what Medvi actually is, because the AI hype is really just drowning it. It's not that much. So Medvi doesn't own any doctors. It doesn't own any pharmaceuticals. It doesn't handle any prescriptions. It doesn't ship anything, not even the actual goods. So all of that is outsourced to companies like OpenLoop and Care Validate. So he's built a wrapper on top of these existing infrastructure companies that are in that telehealth space. So they provide the certified physicians, the prescriptions, the medications itself, and the licensing, and even the shipping. The whole compliance thing, everything is OpenLoop and Care Validate, and he just sits on top of them. He's literally just built a brand on top of that existing infrastructure. He owns the website. He owns the checkout, the customer service chatbot. That's what he owns. It's literally a customer acquisition machine sitting on top of that existing infrastructure. I mean, here's the part that even gets real. The chatbot, the customer support chatbot, it was even hallucinating and not even providing the right product pricing for its customers. And then Matthew, the founder of Medvi, honored it at some point because he just had to. Because he didn't even have, he didn't have the enough mature data for the chatbot to even know what it really was selling, which is also kind of terrifying for a healthcare company. So now the reality is that the FDA actually has been sending warning letters to all these telehealth companies, because it's not just Medvi, all right? And although Medvi did receive these notices as well, but they are receiving notices for selling these GLP-1s. At least 30% of them all also share the same medical groups behind them. So meanwhile, the customer reviews are all over the place. Trustpilot sits at around 4.4 stars with over 11,000 reviews. But of the consumer affairs is full of people saying that they got billed without consent, couldn't cancel, got the wrong medication, or never received anything at all. I mean, look, these issues are literally the same that any startup e-commerce platforms go through. I mean, he literally went through the same issues. Just to tell you, when you're building an e-com, drop shipping company, you're literally just going first with marketing the product, even if you don't have it. It's all about getting the customer first and then figuring out how you actually get the right product to the customer. But in that first initial period, there's just literally always fuck ups. It's normal, right? But the important thing is that if you want to build a long-lasting brand, you have to make sure that you fix those ASAP, which Matthew did do. I mean, even Matthew Gallagher says he has no moat, no proprietary tech, no exclusive supplier deals. Anyone with a marketing skill and an open loop account can go and replicate this today. So what actually happened here? A very smart marketer found the highest demand, lowest friction product in America right now, weight loss drugs, and built the fastest funnel to sell them. AI made it possible to do it without a team. The GLP-1 wave made it possible to do it at the scale. And this isn't like an AI story. It's literally just a guy who filled a demand. And AI was used as the vehicle. Ozempic was where it all started. So look, what does this mean if you're actually building something? First off, stop comparing yourself to this guy. I know that sounds obvious, but half the founders I see on X are having an existential crisis right now because of one New York Times article. And this guy didn't build a defensible tech company. He built a very good marketing operation at the exact right time. That's a skill. It's not like some blueprint or something that he had that no one else had. And second, yes, the uncomfortable part is that it does prove something real about AI. And it's not that AI lets you build the billion-dollar company, but that AI compresses that time and that distance between going from an idea to testing it at scale, super scale. Actually, you can take this to $1 billion. And then the tools is what enabled everything else afterwards. You think in the whole year when he turned into a $400 million company, he was like, oh yeah, let me go hire some people for customer service. He was like, no, I'm doing just fine having Claude handle this, even at $400 million revenue. I think the third thing and the most important thing is still that the limiting factor is distribution. If you are someone who knows how to crack distribution, then try to find where there is a gap in any industry where I would say, actually, I don't want to give it to you here. So just subscribe to the video and I'll make another video in the next tomorrow about what it is. So stay tuned, subscribe to the video, and I'll give you that because it's very interesting. So I'll see you guys. Bye.